There, I was doing my best to play a transcription of Lage Lund's solo on Green Dolphin Street. I remember seeing this video. It's from a video. It's Lage Lund, Will Vincent and Orlando Le Fleming playing, and it looks like they're playing in a church. I remember seeing that video many years ago, and then I thought to myself I should learn that solo, and I finally did. And it was slowed down, by the way. I was trying to play along with a slowed down version there. So we're gonna learn this solo, and then I'll talk a little bit about how I kind of take things from solos that I learn, and I always try to get them into my own vocabulary and try to apply it to tunes. And we're gonna analyze some of the stuff, see what it is that is happening here, because I remember I loved that solo when I heard it. Lage Lund is this fantastic, phenomenal player from Norway, right? And I think he lives in New York since many, many years. But he might be back in Norway, actually, I've heard. But anyway, he sounds very modern and fresh and hip, but there's also something kind of traditional about his playing, right? So there's this kind of nice balance, and his linear playing is really nice, and that's what I'm trying to take away from this. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Let's play along with the Muse score here. I know it's gonna sound like crap, but let's do it anyway just to learn the solo. So it's not, I didn't set it to swing feel, it's just even eighths. There are a couple of places where I'm not sure. The audio is not the best, so it's kind of hard to hear. And it's hard to transcribe chords. But my objective here is not to make an exact transcription. I want to get some of his lines, I want to steal some of his licks, basically. It's just what I'm trying to do. So if some of these chord voicings are not 100% accurate, I don't feel that that is the end of the world. So when I have transcribed the solo, I like to play along with it a lot. So I will slow it down first. I use Transcribe, the software Transcribe, and then I will try to play it at tempo, because when you play along with the recording, you get a feel for the musician's time feel, in this case Lage Lund's timing, but you have to listen, kind of actively listen, so that you'll pick up on his timing. So when I play along with the music score like that, the time feel is awful. That's why I kept it at just even, because there is a swing function. You can set the playback to swing in music score, but the swing is awful. Like so far I haven't seen anybody create a machine that can swing. So then I'll try to play along. Let's just speed it up a little bit more here. So this is like 87%. Yeah, I'm not sure of those chords at the end there. Maybe it's just playing seconds or something. When you play jazz, you don't just play the notes, the lines, you know. That's a great line, by the way. We're gonna steal that line for sure. But you swing it, so swing is not triplets. Some music theory books tell you that swing is triplets, which is ridiculous. I don't know what it would sound like if I played like triplet. That sounds terrible. I don't know, it's like a slight emphasis on the upbeats. That's how Scott Henderson described it, I remember from studying with him. So, like you're slightly accenting the upbeats. I don't know, maybe that's the trick, I'm not sure. And it's kind of hard to kind of put explain it in theory. It's just something you have to kind of feel. So playing along with musicians, recordings, you pick your favorite musician's swing feel and you play along with that, so try to imitate it. For me, somebody like George Benson is a favorite player in terms of how he swings. I can't think of any other guitar player that swings more, in my opinion, in my taste, than George Benson. So I have played along with a lot of his recordings just to kind of get a feel for his swing feel. There's also like ghosting, right? Like ghost notes. If I play this phrase. So like some of those notes I'm not really playing, it's almost like I'm just ghosting them. kind of almost playing an open string sometimes. Like imagine you're a trumpet player, you do these things with your tongue. We can't do that, so we have to kind of imitate that somehow. That kind of thing. So John Scofield would be an excellent example of somebody, a jazz guitarist who really has developed this kind of style that reminds you of horn players in how he goes notes. So he's also somebody that we need to listen to a lot and try to imitate. Okay, so let's look at some of these phrases and analyze it. The first one, right off the bat. That's like almost right out of that book Line Games that I've talked about. So it's like a major scale, but with the avoid note, the 4th degree, omitted. So if I play in C, it's like a C major scale, but with no F. Could also work over A minor. So if I play a C major scale, but omit the F, I get that 6-note scale, which is really nice. So I want to take that lick and use it. So you can use it both over minor and major chords. So let's, I don't know, let's play Recordame by Joe Henderson. Here's a really good backing track of the tune Recordame with like an organ backing track that I really like. Okay, that was a good lick. So I try to find many tunes that I often play, and I try to incorporate the licks into, I just play them over and over to get them into my system and see how they fit over different chords. I really like this too. He's playing it over a bunch of chords there, but it could just be over a major 7. Let's try that over There Will Never Be Another You, perhaps. Works there too. Cool, we already have 2 great licks. Then there are some 2/5 licks, because this tune, On Green Dolphin Street, is very 2/5-y. The first 2/5 lick is this. It plays a similar thing there. if I played that over this tune, it would be here. Okay, let's try it. This next 2-5-1 he plays over the 2-5 to G flat. Is really cool. He's like anticipating that D flat with two beats, 2 quarter notes. He plays this chord a lot over major 7 and minor. So it could be a major 7, G flat major 7, right? Here's a G flat major 7 in drop 2. If I swap out the third for a second, and I don't really need this note, I get this. Could also be E flat. Then he plays chord tones but it's like a B flat minor, which works over G flat. So if I transpose that to this tune, let's try that. When I do this, I've noticed over the years that sometimes these licks or lines that I'm stealing, they stick to my playing. I'll repeat them in my own, I'll add them subconsciously to my own repertoire, and sometimes they just disappear from my memory, even though I might want them to play. So it's kind of difficult to know why sometimes they kind of stay with you and other times these lines don't. And I guess you shouldn't worry too much about it because you're going to develop your own style from this. But you want to make sure that you're stealing from a lot of different players. Don't just steal from the same because then it's going to sound too much like you're trying to sound like that person. You also, in my opinion, want to avoid the trademark licks of certain players, especially the biggest ones, like Pat Metheny's trademark licks or John Scofield's trademark licks. And if you combine that with copying their sound, you're just gonna sound like you're trying too much to sound like them, and it's gonna, for me, when I listen to someone like that, it bothers me too much. I can't enjoy it because it's like, well, you're just trying to sound like Pat Metheny now. And I might be guilty of that too. Or Kurt Rosenwinkel or somebody. Like sometimes they even copy everything, the sound and the way they play and the tunes they play and even the look. I know I'm wearing a Kurt Rosenwinkel hat here, so I guess I'm guilty of that too. But hey, this next section of the solo, he's kind of flirting with different harmonies. There's an E flat major 7 chord. He's playing this. that's a G minor, which is a superimposed arpeggio. But this B natural or C flat, you could think of that in many different kind of ways. It could be a bebop scale phrase. It's like playing the bebop chromatic note on an upbeat. Or maybe he's thinking some kind of augmented sound. We don't know. We would have to ask him. Maybe he doesn't know himself. He probably doesn't even remember playing this solo. But if you want to expand on a major 7 chord, for example, and you want to sound a little bit more hip, well, you can play Lydian. But that's already kind of old, and you know, there's a risk that you're just going to sound like, hey, I went to music school, I know how to play Lydian. You could play actually the minor third. And the notes that you find in the so-called augmented scale. I'm not gonna explain the augmented scale here because I've done that in other videos. But I find that if you use that scale, it sounds a little bit too much and contrived. Like if that's when you're playing the whole tone scale, it can sound like, oh, here I'm playing the whole tone scale. It's too obvious. You just want to kind of hint at it and play a little bit of it. Maybe that's what he's doing here. I don't know, or maybe it's just like thinking that's the note from the previous bar. We don't know. But I like that idea of kind of borrowing from the augmented scale. Again, if I'm playing the scale, it sounds a little bit stupid, but if I can kind of just hint at it, I'm just gonna try it. So there I was kind of more stealing his idea than the actual lick itself, even though I was playing the lick too. I should also mention that when you play this tune, there are many ways you can look at those chords. The next chord is a E flat minor. I just wrote the generic kind of set of changes in the MuseScore chart. So we don't know what they're thinking, what chords how they're treating the chord harmonies. But E flat major, E flat minor, then it's F over E flat, right? E over E flat. So it's like a pedal. It's almost like it's G flat to F, that kind of thing. And sometimes you see those as major 7 chords. But F major 7 over E flat is a little bit weird. And E major works. But here I think he's thinking of those chords as dominant chords. So it's F dominant to E dominant, which works as a sub 5 for the... Because he's playing like this. But that's a very... I think it's obvious that he's thinking E Lydian flat 7 there. Or B flat alter, right? Same notes. Here is also playing that B over the B flat, which is a flat 9, but it's almost like that B belongs to the next chord. So he's playing like a thinking E flat major 7 sharp 5, which is totally possible, and I've heard him do that quite a lot. Play major 7 sharp 5, and then there's a minor third over major 7 chord, which suggests that he's playing kind of extended harmonies there. But again, he's not playing it, he's kind of just giving you a taste of those outside notes. Here he's obviously clearly thinking F7, bar 21. Chord tones. There he's doing a cool thing. He's playing chord tones. Flat 9, third, 13, root, creating a diminished shape over that B flat, which is really hip. And then he's playing this. Again, that voicing we saw before. I think that's what he's playing. So that sounds like he's just playing outside, just side slipping. But if you think of that chord progression, it could be like E flat to C, F, B flat, and then it would make sense. E flat, C, all those notes are in C altered. But this chord, maybe it's the sub 5. It kind of works. I don't know what how he's thinking about those notes there, but it sounds cool. Maybe he's thinking like some kind of reharm that I'm not seeing, I'm not sure. And then again, that voicing. Again. It's like a B minor arpeggio. B flat minor arpeggio over that E flat minor. Here we have triads, F triad and E triad. I know that Lage Lund doesn't like to do this. Barring with, he plays each note separately as if he would play them with this hand only. Again, we have that Lydian flat 7 note choices. So here actually is triad pairing. E triad, F sharp or B flat or D augmented triad. I think of it as F sharp. F sharp augmented. So you could continue on that idea and play E, E, F sharp augmented. Those two triads, the E triad and the augmented triad, you can derive from the E dominant Lydian flat 7. I've talked about that in my videos on triad pairings. So that you could also steal if you would want to. Again, the same kind of language. This is really great. I think that's what he's playing. So it's another 2-5-1 lick. Here we have another symmetrical diminished voicing. The 13, flat 5, flat 9, and flat 7. Here he's playing an add 9. It's kind of stretchy. So I rarely do that. It's just an add 9 chord. You usually associate add 9 chords with pop music from the 80s, not jazz, but... And then he plays this chord, I think, which is amazing. It's like a major 7, 13. I had to accommodate those notes for this tune, but it's gonna work. Here we go. I could play that all day. So this is what I'm gonna take away from this solo. This thing. I just love it. It's really hard to play. And then there's another really cool lick, kind of strange. What? So it's like a minor add 9 voicing. This is a very common thing to do. That is the sharp 9 on the next chord, and then the third and the root. So flat 9, roots. Then there's this modern voicing, right? Like the moo chord I've learned, or the Steely Dan chord. So it's like a add 9 inverted chord. Then he just goes up chromatically with this hemiola rhythm, so it's like a group of 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then resolves it. And there I'm not sure what he's playing, so I just decided to go with this chord because it's kind of resolves nicely to that chord. But I'm not sure. He's playing some dissonant interval or something. I can't really make it out. And it's not super important. I mean, for what we're doing, it's not super important. If I were doing this to practice my ears to get better at transcribing, I would spend more time with it and trying to really figure out what that chord, the exact voicing is, but here I'm trying to add stuff to my vocabulary. Can we steal this lick? Let's see. Yeah, I guess we can. Let's try it. Here comes something interesting. So he's playing this kind of, it's like a chord kind of. And since I know he doesn't bar, he probably plays it like. And then he plays some kind of shikuria type. To me it sounds like shikuria. And then again, the same voicing. So it's like he's playing voicing for lead playing. Some more shikuria type. So when I see something like that, I want to spend some time with it. It's a completely new thing for me. So maybe I'll make a little loop. Get used to that, playing that. Yeah, it's like my fingers don't want to go there because it's a completely new thing. I don't think I want to try that over this tune. Let's go back to Recordamate. So if you play it over a minor chord, you start on the 5th. And on the major chord it's from the 3rd. Yeah, it's a very unusual kind of shape that I like. We'll see if that's gonna stick in my playing. And then at the very end he plays something really cool. So it's like that That's the sub 5, right? E. Resolving to the 6th. So it's also a hemiola 3-note grouping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's also a hemiola, right? Like a 3-note grouping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he plays like a, again, that hemiola rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not sure if he's playing that note. I can't really hear it. So that was Lage Lund's solo on Green Dolphin Street. You can find it on my Patreon page. And as always, I want to thank all my patrons for your support. It means a lot. And I also want to thank everybody who's watching now for your time and your attention. And it's amazing. So thank you. And I shall see you next time.